Some sad news in the world of the NFL as we just learned of the passing of OJ Simpson, who was a player for the Buffalo Bills for many years and also for the University of Southern California. Uh, OJ was born July 9th, 1947, and around the San Francisco area and lived in housing projects for many years. He decided to choose USC, University of Southern California, for his football studies instead of Utah. And it worked out fantastically as he was the main running back for USC in 67 and 68 and led the nation in rushing both years. 1,543 yards in 1967 and 1968 he had 1,880 yards. He was more known in 1967 for his run against UCLA in the famous UCLA USC game. USC was down by 6 points in the fourth quarter when Simpson ran the ball 64 yards to tie the score and helped USC win the game 21-20. It was one of the greatest football games of the 20th century. The funny thing was that the next season, in 1968, his rushing yards got him the Heisman Trophy winner, was named the Heisman winner. And in fact, for 51 years, he actually held the largest margin of victory by a Heisman winner, defeating Leroy Keys by over 1,750 points. Unfortunately for OJ, his USC team lost the famous Rose Bowl game to Ohio State 27-16. Anyway, the first selection in the AFL NFL Common Draft was held by the Buffalo Bills after being pitiful at 112-1 in 1968. They took Simpson, but Simpson won it, the largest contract in pro sports history. After Buffalo owner Ralph Wilson had balked, OJ threatened to become an actor and skip pro football. But Ralph Wilson backed down and paid Simpson it. He had high expectations. He wasn't doing that well. In the first 3 years, he only had 600 plus yards per season. Rumors were circulating that Simpson would be asked to do blocking and receiving duties at the expense of running the ball. However, when Lou Saban became head coach of the Bills in 1971, he said he would make OJ the centerpiece of the Bills' offense. He put up 1,251 yards in the 72 season, but in 1973, he separated himself from everybody else by pushing more than 1,200 yards. In fact, he got 2,003 yards and 12 touchdowns. He broke the mark against the New York Jets on the final day of the season. However, what people don't realize about this is that the 2003 yards was done in 14 games, whereas many people like Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, and Eric Dickerson have hit 2,000 yards in 16 games, not 14, because the NFL was only 14 games before 1978. He was named MVP of that 73 season, and it was amazing and all that. He would get 1,000 yards plus for the next 3 seasons and led the league in rushing twice in 75 and 76. He would have a memorable game in 1976 on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit against the Lions and ran for 273 yards, which was the record for many years. Unfortunately, though, the Bills would still lose the game. Anyway, he would have injuries and all that hurt his 1977 season. Then the next year, in 1978, the Bills decided to trade OJ to his hometown San Francisco 49ers for draft picks. He played for 2 seasons, rushing for only 1,000 yards combined. OJ was second in rushing at the time of his retirement with 11,236 yards. He's now 21st. He was the Player of the Year in 1973 and did well. He was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985, his first year of eligibility, and part of the 100th anniversary all-time team. OJ would only play for one playoff game during his 11-year career, and that was when Buffalo lost to Pittsburgh in the divisional round in 1974. He looked fantastic. with the Bills and all that. He's still the fastest player to gain 1,000 yards in a season, with 1,000 doing it twice in 7 games in 1973 and 1975. Terrell Davis is the only other guy who has done that, and the fastest to regain 2,000 yards, doing it in 14 games, whereas the other guys who got 2,000 yards didn't do it in 14 games. And the most rushing yards per game in a season was 143 yards in 1973. OJ would be in some movies and all that, including Roots, The Klansman, The Towering Inferno, and Capricorn 1. So, anyway, he actually would play Detective Nordberg in all 3 entries of the Naked Gun trilogy in 88, 91, and 94. So, anyway, rumors were circulating that James Cameron was going to get OJ to be the Terminator, but decided to go with Schwarzenegger. Simpson would be a humongous commentator for Monday Night Football and the NFL on NBC. So, anyway, yeah, he had some great job and all that. So, anyway, he would endorse a lot of things by Hertz. Hertz rent a car. When he got there, their annual profit hit by up by 50%. So yeah, he liked Hertz and all that. And the Hertz slogan "Go OJ Go" was huge. All that. Simpson had a checkered personal life, marrying Marguerite Whitley, having 3 children. Unfortunately, one died in the family swimming pool. Simpson would meet Nicole Brown while she was working as a waitress at the Daisy. After the divorce in 1979, OJ would be free to date Nicole, and they were married February 1985, having 2 children, Cindy and Justin. Unfortunately, it would only last 7 years of marriage. Simpson pled no contest to spousal abuse in 1989. They tried to reconcile, but it didn't work out so much. And we all know about the whole OJ Simpson thing in 1994 with potentially being part of the murders of his ex wife and her companion. Let it be said that no matter what your opinion is on that subject, OJ did wrong, especially with him trying to steal memorabilia to be sold to help the Goldmans out. So, anyway, I could talk at length about how OJ's Ford Bronco chase in 1994 interrupted sports for that day. But this is a solemn video and I want to get this over with as fast as I can. He had been diagnosed with cancer by May 2023 and was confident he would beat it. He was undergoing treatment for prostate cancer, but unfortunately, OJ did not beat the cancer. OJ Simpson dies at age 76. We'll be back.